Ceann Corla, and to you, Minister. It is a fact, and it has to be stated here, that in Ireland we have an increasingly secular population, which has led to a demand for more diversity in schools in our country. It is also a fact that 96% of our primary schools are under denominational patronage, and this does create significant issues for children of minority faiths and none in the Irish education system. When we look at even the immigrant children that we have, there was a 2015 Irish Times article that showed that 4 in 5 immigrant children are concentrated in 23% of our primary schools. And ESRI research from 2012 found that 44% of primary schools did not have any ethnic minority pupils, while in 9% of the primary schools, more than 20% of all students were from an ethnic minority. So clearly we have a problem. And, for those children who do not wish to go to a faith school, or their parents wish that for them, it is unfair that they will receive lower priority when seeking to enrol in a denominational school. And there is no doubt that multi-denominational schools are more likely to be oversubscribed because of how few they are in number. So the primary schools admission policies that we have need to reflect the significant cultural, social and demographic changes that the country has undergone, and to provide for increased diversity. There is an increasing mismatch between the current patronage arrangements and the wishes of the parents. But I have to say that schools do have a right to defend their ethos, and this is explicitly protected by Article 44.5 of the Constitution. And we have to allow the ability of minority faith schools to defend their ethos. If a school can rightly choose its own language, and rightly so, in terms of Gael Scolna, then surely a school should have a right to choose its own ethos. The Fianna Fáil solution, and the only workable approach, is to use catchment areas as the basis for selection processes, and for oversubscribed schools, criteria based on locality and a catchment area should be used. And catchment areas could be sized according to the popularity of the school ethos. So, for example, Presbyterian or Jewish schools would have a very wide catchment area for admissions, as there are so few of them in the country, and this would protect them, and again rightly so, as minority denominational schools. With this approach, we could remove the worst problems of the baptism barrier and provide the right to religious freedom and equality of education for all. We must support choice, and we must support diversity. At this point in time, Minister, as you are aware, there are 2 bills in relation to equal access to admissions in front of our committee, and in fact we spent some time today at our committee meeting looking at those, and we hope to be in a position within the next few weeks to have a finalised report from the committee and to recommend that to yourself. What is the bottom line? The bottom line is that nobody should have to baptise his or her child in order to get into a school, and that all children, regardless of religious denomination and outlook, should have their access to a school in their local community, and extend that to all children, outside of their religious beliefs or none. Children with disabilities should also have the right to access to a school in their own area. The treatment of non-Catholic parents and children in our education system is an urgent rights issue and needs to be dealt with. Gaurav Mahagat.